This is how to beat the Richtofen fight on DLC 4 Reckoning and Black Ops 6 Zombies. Now, first and foremost, let me say, this is not, I repeat, this is not an Easter egg guide. I made one, it's on the screen right now. Go click it and watch it if you want an Easter egg guide, but this video is specifically to teach you the best strat that I know of to beat Richtofen's boss fight. If this guide helps you, please do me a favor and drop a like on the video so you can tell YouTube that more people should see this guide. But with that being said, let's get into the class setup. The weapons you'll want to bring in this fight is either the Maelstrom with this attachment setup, and if you run the Maelstrom, you can click B or whatever it is on controller to go to your all fire to make your ADS a lot better. And the other gun you could run is the new ABR, but only if you have the rapid fire attachment unlocked. If you don't, then don't even bother with this, just run the Maelstrom. But if you have all these attachments and you want to run the ABR, I found that this is also a pretty good gun for this fight. For your augments, make sure you put every single one of these on. For stamina, put on Hot Foot. For quick revive, run Dying Wish. For Juggernog, put on Probiotic and Hardened Plates. For Speed Cola, put on Fast Pitcher and Supercharged. Both of these are extremely important, so make sure you have both of these on. For Vulture A, put on Picky Eater and either Fetid Upgrade or Smell of Death. For PhD, run PhD Slider and Tribologist. For Deadshot, run Dead Head and Dead Draw. For Double Tap, run Double Standard and Double Time. And finally, for Ether Shroud, run Extra Charge and Burst Dash. If you're on co-op, then you can run Group Shroud instead. Before you go in this boss fight, make sure you get your gun Tier 3 Pack-a-Punch and Gold Rarity with Cryo Freeze. If you stand here and spawn and shoot this symbol on the TV, then you can do one sharpshooter step per round to get some pretty good rewards. On round 21 passed, you'll get a Gold Wrench for beating the second one and a Tier 2 Pack-a-Punch for the third one. You can do this to save salvage and points to stock up on everything else earlier. Get every single perk, but if you want to omit one, then don't get Elemental Pop. For your Gobblegums, get Power Keg, Killjoy, and Temporal Gift. Or if you have one and you want to use it, instead of running Killjoy, put on a Raindrops. Get a Death Machine, get another Revive, and this next part is super important. Make sure you grab 2 smoke grenades. I'll explain more in a bit, but just do it. Also, when you're ready for the boss fight, get on a non-special round and make sure you have the option to save and quit your game. This way, in case you go in a boss fight and go down, instead of having to do this entire quest over again, you can just back out and go back in and be right up to the boss fight again. If you do this though, make sure when you load back into your game, you not only buy another self-revive, but also flip the round so you can save and quit again. And you'll most likely need this too, because even though I think that I have the best possible strat for this fight, at least at this point in time, this boss fight is still crazily hard because Richtofen can one-shot down you like 3 different ways, and he will completely bypass your Dying Wish. So if I were you, I'd get the portal ready, get the save and quit ready, and use the next attempt or 2 to practice. Also, in the interface settings right here, put on the high contrast mode. I think this is pretty ugly, but it does really help to see Richtofen in this fight. When you go in a boss fight, you want to select this option to fight Richtofen. On the first stop of the lift, you gotta charge 3 soul boxes with 10 zombies each, and on the second stop, you gotta shoot 6 crystals. After that, you will be in the boss fight. Now this boss fight has 2 parts. The first part is pretty much just a super tanked up Uberklaus. He has the same attacks as one, and the way you beat him is the same way as well. Spray into his shoulder pads with your gun until you break them, and then shoot him in the helmet until you break the mech. While you're damaging him, he will spawn some special enemies. A little bit after the fight starts, he will spawn some Commando Klauses, and then once you get around a third of his health down, he'll spawn some Klaus Cores, the robot that pops out of the Uberklaus. These guys will be spamming energy balls everywhere, so make sure when they spawn, make sure you focus them and you take them out, and then you can return fire to the boss. And then finally, once you get his health to around a third of health left, he will not only spawn in a few Commando Klauses and Core Klauses, but he will also spawn in an Uberklaus. Make sure you at the very least take out the Uberklaus and the Klaus Cores before you kill Uber Richtofen. Just trust me, you do not want an Uberklaus chasing you in this next part. Also, before you kill the Uber Richtofen, make sure you have all 3 plates, you have ammo in your gun either from the zombie drops or from one of the 5 ammo boxes in here. And also, and this is the most important part, make sure that you have 2 Ether Shroud charges ready to go. Take out Uber Richtofen, and at this point he will pop out of the mech with a jetpack and a Wonder Waff. At this point on, you want to be extremely careful because in this part of the boss fight, he can one-shot down you so many different ways, and if he does, then he'll even bypass your Dying Wish. If by chance you go down in this phase, then unless you're in the home stretch, just save and quit and retry this fight again. It's not worth taking a chance. Before we go over the strat, let's go over his attacks. attacks. The first is his Wonder Waff attack. Now he legit has aimbot with this Wonder Waff. Even when you're sliding or you're across the map from him, he can still snipe you with this Wonder Waff and one-shot kill you. The best way to not get hit from this attack is to hide either behind one of these walls or behind his back vent. Now in my testing, I found that if you 1, don't have armor, or 2, aren't above 200 HP when he shoots you, then he will one-shot kill you with the Wonder Waff. But if you have armor and you're above 200 HP, then you should be able to tank one Waff shot before he can straight up kill you regardless. If you don't get one shot by his Waff, then he will stun you with it, just like a shock charge would. His next attack is where he'll shoot equipment. When he's doing this attack, he will chuck stun grenades across the boss fight arena, and he will also lay shock charges and blast traps around the map as well. The game will show you where they are with this symbol, so either shoot them to break them, or just run the other way from them. If by chance you get shock charged though, then be careful and keep sliding because this will leave you to be one shot. In his third attack, he will also shoot equipment, but he will also make this sound.
Did someone say air raid?
If you hear this sound, then make sure you're running away from him constantly until this sound stops, because when he's making this sound, he will try to chase you down and he will be spamming blasts everywhere. If you get hit with one of these blasts, then it'll be a one-hit kill every single time. Now, like I said, he will also shoot out equipment on this attack, but the difference is the sound cue. When you hear this sound, he's doing a one-shot attack, so stay away from him. And finally, his last attack is probably the easiest to counter, and that is the dive bomb. When he's doing his attack, he will stand still and make this sound. When he does, he will shoot up in the sky, and then about 5 seconds later, you will hear this sound. At this point, you need to look in the sky for a missile. You want to run away from wherever it's coming down, because this is Richtofen trying to dive bomb you, and he will come down where he's aiming and shoot missiles towards you as well. After the missiles, he will go back in the sky, and around 5 seconds later, he will come back down, and the boss fight will continue as normal. Now, I've personally never went down to this attack, and as long as you're paying attention to where he's coming down and you run away from it, then you probably won't either. Now, let's go over how to actually kill the boss. The only way to consistently beat this boss fight is to hide from the boss. So getting back to the game, once you kill Uber Richtofen, run behind one of these walls and wait for him to go in the air. Once he is, you want to pop your Ether Shroud and slide over to him and spray into him with your gun for a bit. From the second you click Ether Shroud until it goes away, you have 9 seconds. So when you click it, go to him and shoot him for around 6 to 7 seconds and then run back behind cover. At this point, wait for him to do another attack. I've had it happen to where if I pop my second Ether Shroud immediately after my first one, that'll generally make him do the dive bomb attack, which will waste my Ether Shroud. So either wait for an air raid attack or wait for him to continue chasing you with the Waff. Then you want to pop your second Ether Shroud and spray into him. If you're landing on your shots, then you should be at or near the end of phase 1, where he'll become immune and his health bar will disappear. This will happen once you get around a third of his health bar gone. If the second Ether Shroud didn't take you through it though, then this is where the smoke grenades come into play. You'll want to quickly slide around to the opposite wall from where he is and toss a smoke grenade to the wall you're running to and go in it. Now this next part is very important. Kill any zombie that goes into your smoke grenade and tries to attack you. This is because if any zombies know you're inside the smoke grenade, then Richtofen will know you're in the smoke grenade as well, and he'll be able to target you. However, as long as there are no zombies going for you in this smoke grenade, then you'll be able to spray into Richtofen, and he won't be able to shoot back for a bit. A smoke grenade will last for around 11 seconds from the time you throw it until it goes away, so use this as your secondary way to get more damage on him safely. And remember, thanks to Picky Eater on Vulture Raid, the zombies will be dropping a bunch of smoke grenades, so don't worry about saving them for last resorts because you will get more in this fight. Eventually though, he'll become immune and his health bar will disappear and he'll fly away, and at this point you have beaten phase 1. Now come over here where I do, and at this point you want to sweat, and I mean sweat. You want to kill as many zombies as you possibly can to charge your Ether Shrouds back. When you're standing here, zombies will come from this window to the left, above you right here, and to the right of you right here. Like I said, you want to kill as many zombies as you possibly can, and on average you should be about halfway towards your second charge before you hear Richtofen try to dive bomb you. This is how you know he's getting back in the fight. After you slide out the way of his missiles, you want to keep killing zombies as much as you can to try and charge your Ether Shrouds back. But once he's back, now it's time for phase 2. Phase 2 is the exact same as phase 1, so once he's back in the map and he's moving around, pop Ether Shroud and slide to him and spray into him for around 6 to 7 seconds. And once you run out, hide behind a wall, and if you're close to it, kill a couple zombies to get your Ether Shroud ready. If it's not close and you have a power keg, then you could also pop that behind cover over in this phase. Once your Ether Shroud's ready, wait for him to do any attack besides his dive bomb attack, and pop your second Ether Shroud, or if you don't have one, throw a smoke on the ground and spray into him. If you're using smoke grenades, then I recommend you use the death machine. Once he's down to a third of his health left, he will go away again, and now you want to come back to the same spot and farm as many kills as you can to recharge your Ether Shrouds again. If you're using Gobblegums, then pop Temporal Gift while you're killing the zombies here. Once you hear him dive bomb, get out the way, kill more zombies for a bit, and pop your Killjoy and grab it. Once he's back in the map, phase 3 will start, and the fight is pretty much the same as phase 1. Just like phase 1, you want to pop your Ether Shroud and spray into him. With an insta-kill, you will deal double damage to him, and this might take you to the end of the fight, but if not, that's totally fine. Pop another Ether Shroud or throw a smoke grenade, and when zombies ignore you, spray into Richtofen. If you haven't finished off your death machine yet, then use it in this phase. Also, there's something weird that happens in the third phase where once he gets to around 10 to 15% of his health left, he will freeze for a bit, and I don't know why this happens. I don't know if this will get patched, if it's a glitch, or if this is intended, but regardless, use this as an opportunity to spray into him even more. Once you take out his health, congratulations, you have successfully beaten the hardest, and might I say, the most unfair boss fight in modern zombies. If this guide helps you, please do me a favor and drop a like on the video so you can tell YouTube that more people should see this guide. Shout out to my members, thank you all so much for supporting me, and if you want to watch my BO6 guides, links on the screen now, go watch them.